proud to broadcast high school athletics
online
from Portland's West Side.
We are West Side Mobile Media,
Banks, Oregon.
Banks Braves High School Athletics on West Side Mobile Media, presented by Jason Bond Remodeling. Also brought to you by these fine sponsors: Jim's Market, Sarah Hesselman Keller Williams Realty, Wana Credit Union, Banks Post Newspaper, Econo Fab Pole Buildings, GorgeNet Internet Service, Christy Van Meter at Caliber Home Loans, LaHaye's Custom Embroidery, Main Street Pizza, Oregon National Guard, Scoggins Creek Coffee, and Specialty Screen Printing. Now here's the play-by-play voice of Westside Mobile Media, Trevor Beard, alongside color analyst Jonathan Lee.
Welcome to this broadcast of an OSAA On Point Community Credit Union State Championship event. Serving more than 480,000 members, On Point Community Credit Union is the largest locally headquartered credit union and the proud title sponsor of OSAA State Championships. Your local Toyota dealers are proud to support the OSAA. Visit Toyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. The OSAA Radio Network is presented by Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
Good evening, I'm Trevor Beard. Jonathan Lee should be coming along shortly, hopefully before kickoff tonight. Tonight's broadcast, the 2022 OSAA On Point 3A Championships first round. The number 4 seed Banks Braves undefeated at 9-0, hosting the Sisters Outlaws of the Mountain West Conference. Banks, we told you 9-0, outscoring their 9 opponents over 300 points offensively, holding their opponents to just 33, only allowing 15 points in league play, and in fact, pretty much mowing everybody down in 3A District 1 play. Their last 2 games, a 51-6 blowout win at North Marion. The Crossan brothers accounting for most of the offense for Banks. Cole Crossan, 3 field goals in that game. Ashton Crossan, a couple of touchdowns. And then Valley Catholic on senior night, a 56-0 win. That game was 49-0 at halftime. And last 2 games, the second unit has been getting a lot of reps since about the midway point through the second quarter, especially in the win at North Marion last week. We'll go ahead and take a 1-minute break and talk about Sisters a little bit when we come back. This is the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A Football Championships first round. And we're back, hopefully. The 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union, OSAA 3A Football Championships first round between the number 4 seed Banks Braves and the number 13 seed Sisters Outlaws. Banks opened the season September 2nd with a blowout win, 28-0 at Astoria, their former 4A counterparts from 4A District 1. Prior to that, it was the Kawapa League, and then week 2, another 4A opponent, formerly league opponent, Tillamook, with a 20-12 win at Valley Catholic. That game was scheduled to be a true home game, but due to high fire danger in the area, PGE shut off power to Banks and a couple other Test, test. Test, test. Okay, sorry about that. We've been having some Wi-Fi issues. I think we're back, at least for the moment. Tonight, the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 2022 3A Football Championship first round between the 13 seed Sisters Outlaws of the Mountain West Conference and the number 4 seed Banks Braves. Teams have exited the field about 23 minutes to kick off tonight at Hare Field in downtown Hillsboro, owned by the Hillsboro School District, one of the first turf facilities. Heavy rain showers tonight should make for a interesting night. No, not a grass field, so miles an hour tonight. Advisories, both wind and flooding advisories in effect this evening. Those should both be lifted, though, by tomorrow morning as the rain is expected to let up and turn to just showers. We'll go ahead and take a 1-minute break and tell you about both teams when we come back. This is the 2022 OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 3A Football Championships first round between the Sisters Outlaws and the Banks Braves from Harefield and Hillsboro. We'll be back in 1 minute after this from On Point.
What's stopping you from going to school and learning new things? Or buying an old car to make it new again? Do you dream about building a business, exploring new places, or even buying your very first home? Whatever you're trying to do, On Point Community Credit Union can help you do it. With low-interest loans, credit cards, business banking, and more. On Point. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
And we're back. We told you about the Banks Braves, and up to their first half of the season, up to the Warrenton game, they finished the season outscoring their 5 opponents on the field. 42-6 over Pleasant Hill on the road, 49-0 at home over Rainier, 31-0 at Yamhill Carlton, 56-0 versus Valley Catholic on the road, and 51-6 over North Marion on the road last weekend. One forfeit win, a game they were scheduled to go on the road to play Corbett. Corbett didn't play a lot of games this season, only a 20-man roster, and probably should have been playing a JV or maybe even a 2A schedule with such a small roster, with 2A classification dropping to 9-man football this season. The Sisters Outlaws, a 23-0 win at Burns to start the season on the road. Their first 3 games at Madras, week 2, losing 29-14, and then Elmira, a team that hasn't done much the last few years, a 21-7 win on the road. Elmira, the last few seasons they have been in the playoffs have been just a one and out, getting into the play-in round. Banks played them a couple of years ago in the first round in a blowout win. And then Sisters, their kind of nearest rival, a 26-14 loss to 7th-ranked Lapine, winners of the Mountain West Conference. A 48-20 win over Thurston, but it was Thurston's JV team. Thurston, one of the top programs in 5A football over the last 3 or 4 years. A 26-21 win over Cresswell. Cresswell, a team that was battling for the 3rd playoff spot out of the Mountain West Conference with Siuslaw Florence. Pleasant Hill, or with the Sisters actually, Siuslaw, the number 2 team out of the Mountain West Conference. And then a 31-7 home win at Pleasant Hill. Pleasant Hill started out ranked in the top 10 their first couple of games and then had to play Banks at home. And Banks blew them out 42-6. And the touchdown Pleasant Hill scored was late against Banks' second unit. Game wasn't even really that close, but Banks took a little while getting started offensively in that Pleasant Hill game, and that was kind of what got their offensive wheels rolling, as averaging about mid-20s the first 2 games in wins over Astoria and Tillamook in the first 2 weeks, and then the 24-9 win to open the league play at Warrenton. And then that 42-6 blowout win at Pleasant Hill, just a 7-0 game after the first quarter. Banks scored 21 points in the second quarter, and it was over by halftime, and that was kind of the spark the Braves needed, I think, at least offensively, to get the season going, putting points on the board. And really, from that point on, nobody even came within 2 touchdowns of Banks. Almost every game this season, a blowout by halftime. That Yamhill Carleton game, 31-0, at the about the beginning of October, midway point of October. Just a 17-0 game early in the fourth quarter, but Yamhill Carleton just ran out of gas. 5 players injured in that game, and Banks able to put it away with a interception return for a touchdown with about 6.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Game was really a lot closer than the 31-0 score, but just some bad injuries for the Tigers, who also advanced to the playoffs there at South Umpqua tonight in Myrtle Creek, just about half an hour south of Roseburg. Again, Jonathan Lee should be joining us shortly. I know he's on his way here. Weather, again, playing a big factor tonight with traffic. We can tell you that you can stay connected to your favorite team with the OSAA Live mobile app. OSAA Live features the latest scores, schedules, and rankings for all teams and leagues across Oregon. You can access OSAA state championship programs, read the latest prep news, and other information. Search OSAA Live in the App Store or on Google Play to download today. And also, if you're wanting to go to an OSAA event, you can get tickets digitally with Hometown Ticketing, the official ticketing partner of the OSAA. Access tickets for all first-round state championship finals via the OSAA website or OSAA Live app. Order your tickets in advance and present your digital ticket at the gate. It's convenient, paperless, and easy to use. Visit osaa.org/tickets. We'll take a 1-minute local break and be back after this from our presenting sponsor, Jason Bond Remodeling.
Want to give your kitchen or bath a fresh new look? Jason Bond Remodeling has over 20 years experience fabricating and installing stone countertops and can upgrade your home with the countertops of your dreams without the dreamy price tag. They pride themselves on quality and customer satisfaction. They also offer cabinet installation and will do their best to beat any bid by 10%. Based in Washington County and will service most Portland area locations. For quality kitchen and bath remodels, call Jason Bond Remodeling at 503-430-0145.
Starters being introduced tonight by Banks Public Address announcer Chris Lida. The field is empty. Neither team warming up right now. Both teams in their locker rooms. About 11 minutes to go before kickoff. OSAA Today is your spot for all high school state championship coverage from news, stories, coaches, polls, and more. Get it all by visiting OSAA Today. Go to osaa.org/today. Banks not the only team from 3A District 1 facing a Test. Test. And I think we're back. We've had some Wi-Fi issues tonight. Apologize for that. Both starters have just been introduced. The 2022 OSAA 3A football championships between the 13-seed Sisters Outlaws and the 4-seed Banks Braves, live from Hare Field in downtown Hillsboro. Banks huddling up in the northeast corner of the end zone to our right. Hare Field, one of the first turf facilities in the Hillsboro area, owned by Hillsboro School District. Braves come onto the field with head coach Cole Linehan, navy blue uniforms, Vegas gold numerals with white trim, navy blue pants with Vegas gold triangle chain on the sides of the pants, representing the Coast Range with a thin transparent line reflecting the Coast Range off the Tualatin River. Sisters will be wearing their road white uniforms, black numerals that almost very classic block style, almost look like they're taped on. Black helmets with white stripe down the center and a stenciled S on the sides of the helmet, white pants for the Sisters Outlaws. As the title sponsor of the OSAA State Championships, On Point does everything it can to help our team and community get ahead. On Point delivers the local banking and lending its members need to reach their goals and make more possible. Visit OnPoint at onpointcu.com. On Point is federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
And that's why I have my camera set up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's your guys'?
Yeah, that was ours. Yeah, this is camera for both teams.
Sorry, we didn't know. Yeah, no, we'll take that down.
No, it's yeah, that's our tripod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll
We
go
weren't
grab
sure
ours.
who that was.
Yeah, we might not be able to be up here. If it's too crowded. Take that out. We can just push over to the side. We can share. It's just camera. It's not like talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, just the starters for sisters introduced earlier. Nick Krupke from Channel 12 here tonight using camera for the bank starters as they're introduced. Jack Lyda. Max Walker, number 3. Number 1, Christian Lyda. Number 28, Cesar Dominguez. Looks like he'll get the start at running back tonight. Although that may have been the defensive starters introduced. And we're back after the performance of the national anthem. Sorry about that. Kind of a little bit more cramped in here tonight, so getting everything situated still. Captains meeting at midfield for Banks. Number 2, Jack Lyda. Number 18, Logan Kind. Number 53, Davon Verena. Number 58, Justin Webb.
Once they're down, once the whistle's blown, do I stop it?
Yeah, so you can.
White Hat is discussing the sides of the coin with both teams.
All right, you good? Yeah. All right, man. guys. No, you're good. That's our bad. You don't need this?
I believe Banks has won the toss and elected to defer. Banks will be starting to our right, moving right to left in the opening quarter. Sisters will kick. Actually, Banks will receive, so Sisters apparently won the toss and elected to defer. Again, Harefield runs north and south. Far side of the field empty, which is the west side. Near side, the home side of the field, is the east side. Back to receive for the Braves, number 6, Ashton Crossan and Jack Lyda standing at their own 15. Looks like teeing it up for Sisters will be number 24, Adam Maddox Castle, listed as a 6', 168 senior running back. Also a defensive back defensively. And the ball comes off the tee. And it's reset at the 40-yard line. And the kick is away low, and it's going to be number 53. They kick it away from Lyda and Cross, and Davon Vereen having problems with the wet football, only able to get up to about the 15-yard line as he had to back up near zone 10 and then couldn't catch it cleanly, and that allowed Sisters to recover defensively and get down quickly to allow Banks from getting any kind of decent return on the opening kickoff. Christian Lyda out of shotgun with Crossing the lone back to his right, and will give to Ashton, has some room up to about the 20. Decent gain on first down of about 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 on the first play of the game. Nose of the football just on the 20-yard line. 2nd down and 5 for Lyda and the Braves offense. 4 receiver set, trips to the far side, crossing off the end around. They're going to try a trick play. Too high, pass was there, but too high for Jack Lyda. Would have been enough for a first down up around the 30. And with the slippery football and slippery conditions, got to make sure you make accurate passes on any type of trick play. Any play, really, and that one goes incomplete. Third down and 5, Deer style, efficiency, and performance. Glad we're on the same team this season and every season. Let's keep huddling up and going for it. Toyota, let's go places. Lyda again out of shotgun with Harris now the lone back, and Crossan actually gets close. He'll have enough for the first down up past the 25. Looked like they brought in Caden Harris as an extra back, but the carry went to Ashton Cross, and it'll be enough for a first down, though, up to the 27, 28-yard line. 2022 OSAA On Point 3A Community Credit Union Football Championships first round. Number 4 Banks, number 13 Sisters. Live from Harefield, I'm Trevor Beard. Pass from Christian Lyda. Lyda is behind the intended receiver, Jack Lyda. Looked like maybe a little miscommunication. Lyda throwing it to what looked like maybe should have been an out pattern, and Lyda cut back inside and threw it behind him as he was cutting back towards the center of the field. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Clock stops, 10:38 to go in the first quarter. Lyda goes in motion. Jack Lyda left to right. Now looks like, again, a 3-receiver set. Bad snap. Croston able to go back and get it. Has some room around the far side, and he may get a first down out of this after all. All the way out of bounds, up close to the 38. He may be about a yard short. He stepped out, though, close to the first down marker after a fumbled snap. Had the ball all the way back near the 10. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down and short. Oh, they're marking him out of bounds. Clear up at the 35. Crossan hit and goes down close to the 40. Should be a yard past the first down marker, and it is a first down Banks. Clock under 10:20, first quarter. 1st and 10 Banks from the Braves 39. 4-receiver set, trips off set to the top with Cross in the lone back. Now Lyda comes in motion right to left, cuts back right. And Christian Lyda back to throw, has some room, throws, and it's caught by Logan Kind. 30 breaks the tackle. He may almost scored, just needing to break one more tackle, and finally bumped out of bounds at the Outlaws 14. A huge first down for the Braves, all the way down to the Sisters 14, a gain of 46 on the pass play. Braves in the red zone on their opening drive. 1st and 10 from the Sisters 14. Just under 10 minutes to give to Crossan, and cuts back inside. He's going to score. Touchdown, Ashton Crossan. No flag on the play. 14 yards out, but did we? Oh, yeah. White Hat waved his hands. I thought maybe they were going to bring it back, but I didn't see a flag, and then he did indicate touchdown, so we'll wait to update the scoreboard until after the extra point from Cole Crossan. Cole, one of the most accurate and biggest boots in all of Oregon high school football. 7 of 9 on the season, has kicked off for nearly 2,700 yards. But this one, skips off the crossbar and makes it across after it. I don't know if it was partially blocked or he just slipped on the approach, but still makes it through. And with 9:32 to go in the first quarter, it's now Banks 7, Sisters nothing, following a 14-yard touchdown run from Ashton Crossan. We'll be back after this in 30 seconds from Jim's Market.
Jim's Market in Banks is an institution serving the community for generations. They're actively involved in events and athletics from the youth league to high school level. Let them serve you with their locally grown fresh produce, fresh bakery items, including custom cakes, and quick hot food from their in-store deli. Jim's Market, conveniently located at the south entrance to Banks.
And we're back, 9:32 to go. Sisters about to receive the football for the first time tonight after Banks takes the ball about 85 yards on their opening drive. A 14-yard touchdown run for Ashton Crossan. 7-0 with 9:32 to go in the opening quarter. And Cole Cross and a squib kick down the middle of the field is going to be fallen on by number 6 for the Outlaws. Patrick Silva, listed as a 6', 185 defensive back. Again, Sisters white uniforms, black, almost look like taped on numerals, black helmets with white stenciled S, white stripe down the center of the helmet, white pants. Looks like a bunch formation and give up the middle, kind of a full house, and it's a fake, and he's brought all the way down, out of bounds up near the Banks 45. Number 45, the ball carrier, Tony Gonzalez, 5'10", 189-pound junior. Not a lot of size on this Outlaws roster. Only 4 players over 200 pounds, but able to trick out the Braves defense that time for a big carry on the first play offensively for the Outlaws. And quarterback number 10, Easton Moore, big push and gets maybe 2 or 3 yards for, again, I think that's Tony Gonzalez at the bottom of the pile. A gain of 3, second down and 7. Now they go again with that kind of strange formation, and Gonzalez with another first down inside the Braves 40 to about the 38. Full house package for the Outlaws. Only about 8 men on the line with three in the backfield. Quarterback Easton Moore under center with a 3-back set, and again they give it off the far side this time to number 24, Adam Maddox Castle, and he's going to have a decent pickup again on first down, a gain of about 6 or 7. It'll be second down and short. Actually, second down and about 7 from the Braves 30. Again, a 3-back set. And turn and give off the near side. Nice job of tackling that time. First carry for number 2, Mason Sellers, but Logan Kind right there for his first tackle of the game as Jonathan Lee steps into the booth with us tonight. Nice to have you here, Jonathan. I know you just got here, but Banks will give you a recap on the opening drive. Big pass play to Logan Kind down the far side, and then a 14-yard touchdown run for Ashton Crossan. Moore under center, turns, and we'll give it again to number 24, Adam Maddox Castle, his second carry, and it'll be a short gain, and I believe that's Sisters' first third down of the night. Actually, it's fourth down, and looks like about 5 from the 28. Outlaws are going to go for it. Braves with their first big defensive opportunity of the game. Moore under center. Will turn and give, and nothing there. Banks will take over on downs, runs into a pile, and he may lose back to the 30. Number 45, the ball carrier for Sisters, Tony Gonzalez. Go ahead.
Max Walker and some prints there on the stop. They just kind of had great pursuit right off the line. Yeah, Max, the defensive front bring it with a three-man front there. They had great pursuit right away. Sisters had no chance.
Lida in motion. The give off the opposite side to Crossan. Couple of flags on the play. Crossan has some room off the far side, but does get a first down yardage, but this one's going to come back as 2 flags around the 26-yard line for Banks back near the line of scrimmage, likely a hold. Holding is the call against the Braves. 6:11 to go
Test.
in the first quarter. The original line of scrimmage, the 27. It's going to be first down. Kind of strange first down marker, black and white. They're going to move the ball all the way back inside the 20. 10-yard penalty on a hold. It should be back to the 16. And looks like that's where they're going to place the down marker. Need to get to the 38 for a first down and whistles. I think officials still trying to figure out where to spot the football. Now they do move it. They had it marked at the 14. Now it's marked correctly at the 16. First and 22 for Banks after the holding penalty. Lida, low snap, quick pass out, thrown high, caught, and Logan Kine gets most of the yardage back and then some, all the way up to about the 32, 33-yard line. That's going to bring up just a second down and about 8 or 9. Actually 5. Need to get to the 38 for a first down, so a big pass play to Logan Kind after a Braves were in a hole on a holding penalty. This time give to Crossan off the far side, has a little bit of a hole, and closes quickly, though. He'll be stopped about 2 yards shy of the first down, third down and short for the Braves on their second drive. 5:22 in the first quarter with a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, Ashton Crossan had a great stiff arm there to try and give himself some extra yardage, but number 24 for Sisters right there to bring him down on the play. Just couldn't quite shake him.
Looks like third down and a yard from the 37. Bunch formation to the top. Lone receiver to the near side is Jack Lida. Give to Caden Harris, fakes it. Christian Lida's going to pick up the it was Ashton Crossan out of the Wildcats. Direct snap, getting the first down up past the 40 to about the 41. OSAA Today is your spot for all high school state championship coverage, from news, stories, coaches, polls, and more. Get it all by visiting OSAA Today. Go to osaa.org/today today. Lida out of shotgun with Harris to his right. Looks like a 4-receiver set again. Harris with a big hole and gets up close to midfield to about the 47, 48-yard line. Decent pickup on first down of about 7.
That's a great lead block that time by 55 for Banks. Just right there, just following the assignment and leading the way all the way.
Second down and 4 from the 47. Need to get to the Sisters 49 to pick up a first down. Walker and Kind to the near side with Harris the lone back to the left of Lida. Quick pass out to Logan. Is going to have the first down and then some. And finally pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. First down, Banks on the drive again. Their second possession, 3:32 to go in the first quarter. And inching closer towards the red zone after another big pass play to Logan Kind down the near side.
As the rain continues coming down here in Hillsborough, steady drizzle at this point.
Logan Kind lined up as a tight end, split out wide to the near side. 4 receivers set, Lida in motion right to left, now back right, fakes the pass to Christian to Jack Christian, the quarterback, and the gift to Caden Harris is not going to be for much, may lose a yard. It'll be 2nd down and long.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of slow on the exchange there as, he put it right in Caden's basket right there, but it looked like Christian maybe hanging on the ball a little bit too much, a little bit too long, slow to release.
Wormington and Lida lined up to the top far side with, I believe it's Crossan now in as the running back. Logan Kind and Max Walker to the near side. And the give to fakes to Crossan, pass out to Max Walker, has a first down, tripped up inside the 20, but it's enough for a first down to about the 18 far side for another Braves first down into the red zone.
Well, credit the Braves coaching staff there, pulling a little wrinkle there as Max lining up as a split in that time, and then kind of went into motion off the snap there and just followed his assignment, ran his block, and nobody picked him up. He was wide open coming off the edge. It was a good read to get the ball to Max right there and pick up some more yardage there.
Crossing to the lone back, now trip spread wide to the near side with Wormington, the lone receiver, to the top. Lida's going to keep and get a little bit of room inside the 15 down to about the 13. Short gain, but that's a positive for Christian Lida. He's not a running quarterback as we've seen most of the year.
Well, and I was just going to say, Sisters is bringing no resistance right now. Banks is just pushing them back and has them on their heels and just keeps pushing them back.
Well, we talked about it earlier. If you look at the Sisters roster, I don't think you were here yet. Only 4 players on the Outlaws roster over 200 pounds.
Yeah, I was noticing that this week. Very, very small team, very small even on the line.
Lida now is going to line up to the near side. No motion from him. Crossan still the lone back. And again, a bad snap. And Christian is able to pick it up, has some room off the near side, and
gets out of bounds just inside the 15-yard line.
So it'll be 3rd down. Down marker is at the, looks like the 12. Need to get to about the 8 for a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 4, but Banks with statistically the best kicker in the state across all 6 classes, and Cole Crossan, as we've seen some max preps numbers over social media over the weekend. 7 of 9 most accurate in field goal kicking in the state, and nearly 2,700 yards in kickoff yards. Even if the Banks Braves don't get in here, it's likely a field goal for Crossan. Light out a quick pass out. And Logan Kind. No indication. Will be a first down, but I don't think he got in. White Hat has not signaled, kind of screened off as we're up in the film booth at Hare Field. 1st and goal from the 1 after the pass, I believe, to Logan Kind. And a give to Cole Crossan. Ashton Crossan is in for his 2nd touchdown, 13-0 with 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. 2nd touchdown for Ashton Crossan.
Set up off that nice little screen play to screen dump off play to Braden Bigsby.
Cole Crossan 3 field goals last week and 6 extra point attempts. All good, 9 for 9 at North Marion last week. Snap is down, kick is blocked, and it is no good. So with 22 seconds to go in the first quarter, it's now Banks 13, Sisters nothing. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from On Point.
What's stopping you from going to school and learning new things? Or buying an old car to make it new again? Do you dream about building a business, exploring new places, or even buying your very first home? Whatever you're trying to do, On Point Community Credit Union can help you do it. With low interest loans, credit cards, business banking, and more. On Point. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
And we're back 13-0 Banks, 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. Banks, despite having some problems with the wet football, especially on the opening kickoff, a 2-touchdown lead, both coming off the leg of Ashton Crossan on the ground. And it's going to skip past. And he actually touched it. He's going to go down around the 6-yard line. Jesse Murillo tried to pick up the wet football and then was just going to let it go for a touchback, but he forgot he touched it, had to go all the way about 5 yards deep into the end zone to try to bring it out. Otherwise, it would have been an easy Brave score, and it still may turn into that as Sisters is deep in their own territory. Looks like about the 6-yard line on their second drive of the game, which should start on the final play of the first quarter. They're going to mark it at the 7. Moore under center. With a man in motion. Looks like toss sweep off the far side. And fumble on the play. Ball
Braves
is
say they have it.
It's inside the 5.
Braves still say they have it. I think they do.
And
no indication yet. Yep, it is. The
Banks football.
It's on the 2.
First and goal for Banks after Sisters having some issues with the second kickoff of the night from Banks. First turnover of the game comes on a muffed kickoff. And that's the end of the first quarter. After one, it's Banks 13 and Sisters nothing. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from Sarah Hesselman.
Same great smile, same great service, but a brand new location and a great new team. Sarah Hesselman Group is still proud to support Banks High School athletics, but has now joined the Premier Property Group real estate team with new offices located in Bethany. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, contact the Sarah Hesselman Group, Sarah at sarahhesselman.com, or call 503-313-0748.
And we're back, start of the second quarter. Braves threatening again, first and goal from the Outlaws 2, now moving left to right to start the second quarter. Crossing to the left of Lida. Looks like a 3-receiver set, fumbled snap. Lida is going to run away from coverage, and flag on the play, dumps it down around the goal line. It's incomplete, but now 2 flags. One is likely a hold, but the other flag thrown in the end zone definitely won't be a hold, Jonathan. Do you have any kind of indication of what the flag in the end zone might be?
Kind of got cut off there here. We're in a crowded camera well here, but it was Max Walker, the intended receiver, but there was a whole lot of. It might be a defensive hold. Looks like it's going to be on the Braves, though.
Yeah, and this is going to be a big penalty. Blindside block against Banks is one of the penalties.
And I just saw the white hat signal false start.
So both penalties against the Braves will move the ball all the way back to the 27, so 25 yards on the 2 penalties after the Braves had first and goal from the 2. So it's first and goal from the 27. Crossing to the left of Lyda. Christian Lyda, Jack Lyda in motion. Fakes to give to Crossan, pass out to Logan Kind. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, easy touchdown Logan Kind. 27 yards out down the far side after 25 yards in penalties on the previous play.
Well, just get it out to one of your speedier guys on your team out there. You give the ball out to Logan Kind in space and let him do what he can do. And he found the crease that he needed, the angle to get to the end zone. And he went in untouched. I mean, he was really uncontested.
You could kind of see once he got around the 20-yard line, there was nobody even on that side of the field that he should have had an easy touchdown and really went in untouched.
There was a defender right about the 10-yard line for Sisters, but at that point he was already on his way, and there was going to be no good angle to get him.
Snap is down, and this time is perfect. 11:36 to go in the first half. It's now Banks 20 and Sisters nothing. Back after this 30-second break from Pacific Office Automation.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
And we're back early second quarter. Banks a 20-0 lead over Sisters in the 2022 OSAA On Point 3A Football Championships first round. Number 13 Sisters, the third place finisher out of the Mountain West Conference, coming across the mountains to take on the 3A District 1 champs Banks Braves, finishing undefeated at 9-0. And the ball will be taken at about the 5, getting some steam up past the 35. And finally, being thrown down again is number 24, Adam Maddox Castle. A decent gain, pretty good field position for Sisters to start their third drive around their own 35.
Well, Trevor, an interesting note about this game, you mentioned Sisters coming over the mountain for this game. Of course, Banks playing here at Hare Field. One of the home schools of this field is the Hillsboro Spartans, who are into the 5A playoffs. They went over the mountain tonight to play Bend in the 5A state first-round playoffs.
And this time of year, anytime you head over the mountains, most teams, I'm sure, will try to book charter buses with the snow in the mountains this weekend. And the give off the far side, ripping at the jersey of number 2, Mason Sellers. A little bit of room, maybe up to the 37 off the right side.
Sellers, one of 3 running backs back there, kind of almost like a wishbone kind of a read there that time. 3 running backs behind the quarterback.
They've been in that 3 running back style offense all night. Moore will go back to pass this time, and yeah, that's the right call. He was tipped, and then maybe it looked like it was intercepted by Logan Kind, but it hit the turf as he slid trying to come up with the football, and it'll be third down and 9, or third down and 8 from the 37.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good thing the quarterback got that ball off when he did, because otherwise he was going to go down and be on. He ended up going down, but it would have been a huge loss for Sisters as Davon Vereen came in. He was untouched, came with great backside pressure, and just had a beat on him. Nobody picked up Davon Vereen.
Opening kickoff was to Davon Vereen and had some problems with the wet football. And Banks started at their own 15 on the opening drive and kind of looked like a little behind the back handoff, but it didn't fool anybody as the They're going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Fourth down, and Sisters again likely will punt. I saw them go for it on fourth down in the first quarter. Likely not a position where they'll go for it on their own side of the field. Jack Lyda, the only man back about the 39, and this one's going to be kicked to the near side away from Lyda and down at the 27-yard line of the Braves as it comes back upfield. First and 10 Banks with 9:55 to go in the first half. As Jonathan, you weren't at North Marion last week, but Banks scored in each of their first 7 possessions before the JV came in midway through the second quarter. Right now it looks like, I know it's still early, but Banks has scored on each of their first 3 possessions so far in this game, and that's saying something when you get into the playoffs.
That's scoring early and often and get a big lead, and with their defense, it makes it really tough on the opponent, particularly an opponent that's going to want to run the football.
Allowed just a total of 33 points in their 9 wins this season. The give to Crossan, and not much there, able to make a couple moves and get up to the 30, maybe a gain of about 3.
Great job that time by the Sisters defense, 73-2 on the stop for, looks like lineman and cornerback on the stop for the Outlaws.
Second down and 7 from the 30. Wormington, the lone receiver to the near side. Banks moving left to right, trips to the top. Now Lyda moves up just offset of Christian. Jack sets up just offset of Christian, just behind him to his right. A little bit different formation for the running back. He gets maybe a yard. It'll be third down and about 5, maybe 6.
I think Banks that time got away with a little bit of a false start that time. Looked like one of the linemen moved just a little bit too soon before that snap, but like a split second before the snap.
I'll mark it at the 32, so call it third down and 5. Crossan the lone back. Actually, it was Crossan the running back last time, not Jack Lyda. Jack Lyda, receiver. Christian to throw, has time. Pass is hung up and nearly intercepted, probably should have been. But Wormington having to play defensive back that time. Otherwise, it probably would have been a pick for Patrick Silva.
Yeah, that was great coverage that time, and that was probably not a ball that Christian Lyda should have been throwing in that direction. That's called a check-off error. You got to check off your receivers there and see what another receiver. That was not the receiver that he wanted to go to.
Well, with these wet conditions, too, it's going to be hard to throw a deep ball because it's going to make it hard to grip the laces on the football. So Cole Crossan will punt it away for the first time tonight. First time Braves have not scored on a possession, and that, again, wet football, and now he's just going to try to run it. And Sisters is now going to be in business with first and 10 inside Banks 30 on a bad snap. That don't think that really goes against any one player, just wet conditions, and ball rolled between his legs and had to try to do what he could to try to get any yardage possible. No chance he was going to be able to kick that football away.
Yeah, with the pursuit that Sisters was bringing at that point, basically fire, knowing it was low, so they had a chance to get some guys down there. It was just a great job by Crossan to just get out of bounds and get it out of play and not try to be too cute with it and lose the ball.
So the Outlaws, now they lose the football, and it's picked back up by Castle Brown all the way back near the 35. Or Maddox Castle. It'll be a loss of about 3 on the toss sweep that turned into a drop from Maddox Castle. Actually, it's going to be a loss of more than that. Original line of scrimmage was the 27. They'll mark it at the 33. It'll be second down and 16. Now a more traditional look for the Outlaws. Twin receivers each way, more to pass, and nearly intercepted, but I think it's actually going to be caught by Mason Sellers. Logan Kine broke on the football, but just wasn't quite quick enough to time the route, and it will be caught, but just enough to get back to the line of scrimmage basically for Sisters. Actually not even that. A gain of about 4. It'll be 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, they stopped the ball right away when his progress was stopped. Good mechanics there.
Ball on the Braves 29, likely 4 down territory for the Outlaws. Again, Twins each way with one back for Moore. Pass is thrown out and dropped. Intended for Maddox Castle about the 25-yard line. Would have been short of the first down if he had made the catch just about a yard or two past the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down and long for Sisters. And I know it's early, Jonathan, but this may be the play of the game if Sisters wants to stay in this contest. They'd like to put points on the board before halftime. Moore comes in late with the play from the far side. 4th and 12 for the Outlaws from the Braves 29. And whistles, and I think we're going to have a Sisters timeout. They look confused offensively.
There was confusion about what play they wanted to run. I heard them yelling outlaw, outlaw, and then someone trying to get over to the other side of the field at the last second. And yeah, that was just disaster written all over it. Good timeout.
So we'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from Christy Van Meter at Caliber Home Loans.
Rankings are important numbers in determining Oregon high school playoffs. So are rankings when choosing a lender to help you with purchasing or refinancing your home. Our local community home loan expert, Christy Van Meter at Caliber Home Loans, is ready to help you win the day. Call Christy today for all of your home loan needs at 503-327-5302 or caliberhomeloans.com/kvanmeter. Christy Van Meter, NMLS number 1700271, state licensed in Oregon, an equal housing lender. All products are subject to credit and property approval.
And we're back, Sisters, 4th and 12 from the Braves 29 following a botched kickoff or punt attempt from Cole Cross, and the pass from Moore is nearly intercepted around the 10, I believe, by number 12 for the Braves, Braden Bigsby, who received first-team all-honors earlier this week as a defensive back. And Braves will take over on downs, 1st and 10 from their own 29.
Also caught a big pass earlier tonight to set up the Braves' second score of the game in the first quarter.
.6:47 to go. Braves 3 for 4 on scoring opportunities. Looks like the lone back is Crossan, Cole Crossan. And sticks it in his breadbasket and slips and falls and still able to get about 2 or 3 yards up to about the 31. Again, Banks with a win tonight will play either Santiam Christian of Adair just north of Corvallis or St. Mary's of Medford. Either way, Banks, the 4 seed, would be the home team in that second round matchup. Could be here again next week, could be at Beaverton High School. Regardless, it probably will not be at Banks High School. Walker and Wormington lined up to the near side. Pass thrown far side to Logan Kine. First down just past the marker to the 40-yard line. Needed to get to the 39. 1st and 10.
And that's right where they got to, as they're going to spot the ball right on the 39.
Yeah, initially I thought he got to the 40, but he may have slipped as he got there, and it's actually going to be 2nd down and about a yard.
Looks like inches.
Harris now in kind of a power back to try to pick up the first down, but it's another direct snap to Ashton Cross, and he's got it easily up to the 45, another Braves first down.
Is that the crosshammer package? You got the jackhammer package for Oregon State. Is that the crosshammer? The crosshairs package?
Want to stay in shape, be involved in a sport you love, and earn money in the process? Become an athletic official. There's a shortage of officials in Oregon, and we need you now more than ever. Visit osaa.org/officials for more information and to get registered. Banks has had a little bit of problems tonight with the football, but have had no issues scoring, 20-0 as we near the inside the midway point of the second quarter. Christian Lyda is going to keep it and get close to another first down. Out of bounds inside Sisters territory to about the 45.
Yeah, it was a great job by Christian just to get what he could as he was flushed out of the pocket that time and to his right, and he just had to run and pick up some yardage, and he got close to another first down to the 45-yard line.
Likely we will not have many other scores to give you at halftime. This is the earliest start, I believe, in the state.
There's one other game in the 6A, Central Catholic hosting South Medford at Hillsborough Stadium at 6.
Again, direct snap to Cross and out of the Wildcat. Has some room off the far side. 40, 35, makes a move, cuts back inside. 25-20, finally brought down at about the 18. Another big run for Ashton Crossan. And Jonathan, last couple weeks you haven't been with us. The running game has been all Ashton Crossan for Banks, and he showed it there on that play.
Yeah, they made the switch. You know, he started at quarterback, and then they decided that, hey, Ashton's got a nose for the football, and he can run. He's got a good running game, and then Christian Lyda had the throw. Ashton wasn't able to really make the throws as well as Christian can do. So they said, why don't we just put Christian in there and move Ashton into the backfield, and it's worked.
First and 10, Banks from the Sisters 19. Clean snap, and looked like he wanted to try to roll out, but maybe pass it. But Ashton is going to be down inside the 5 to about the 3. First and goal, Banks with 3:38 to go. Clock stops out of bounds.
Yeah, Braves on the move once again. And once they get inside that 20 in the red zone, it's pretty much Braves scoring zone. And this would be huge for the Braves. You get up to 26, 27 with an extra point before halftime. And
I kind of wonder if maybe they wouldn't go for 2 if they get it in here back to an even 4-touchdown lead.
I think it's too early to chase points.
Harris, the lone back, Cole Crossan on the fumbled snap is going to get in, though, or Ashton Crossan will get in easily. And Max Walker, nice sportsmanship that time. He went down, but helped up by a Sisters player, and that's the 3rd touchdown of the night for Ashton Crossan.
And of course, for the Braves leading, you wouldn't be chasing any points, but
right.
At that point, if you go for 2, I mean, there's either one of 2 things you're doing there. You're either shaving points or you're running up the score.
And there's no shaving points in high school, so. I mean, you're not Arizona State basketball back in the 90s.
Well, sports betting is pretty big now.
Snap is down, kick is up and through, and no good off to the left. It looked like it was inside the left upright from up here. So with 3s on the timer, Banks with their 4th touchdown of the night, 2 missed extra points, 1 blocked. It's 26-0 Banks over Sisters. Back in 30 seconds after this from LaHaye.
Proudly serving our neighbors in Washington County since 1946, LaHaye is your destination for locally made Letterman's jackets, custom embroidery for business apparel or a unique gift, and scouting uniforms and supplies. LaHaye is on the corner of 3rd and Main in historic downtown Hillsborough. Open Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4, and anytime online at lahays.com, or call us at 503-648-2341.
And we're back on a wet, windy, slippery Friday night. Rainfall totals could be close to 2 inches in the Portland metro area. Flooding possible prior to 10 o'clock. Wind and rain should let up by tomorrow morning. Again, Maddox Castle back at about his own 5 and has a kick right to him, but can't get it cleanly and will be brought down around the 11-yard line with 3:25 to go in the first half and a 26-0 Banks lead.
You know where they should have played this game at? Autzen Stadium, because you know why? It never rains at Autzen. Never R-A-I-N-S rains. It R-E-I-N. R-E-I-G-N.
Jonathan and I both graduated in the early mid-'90s, and Autzen Stadium hosted a lot of high school playoff games up until the early to mid-2000s.
A lot of regular season doubleheaders, too, the old Midwestern League.
And football is loose again. Do the Braves have it?
They say they do.
It's Banks football inside the 5.
Well, pardon no pun intended here, but when it rains, it pours.
And that's already the third turnover of the game for the Braves, or third takeaway, third turnover for Sisters. And 2 of those have happened inside their own 5-yard line. Looks like they're actually going to mark it at the 5.
Still 3:20 to go here in the first half.
Christian Lida with Cole Ashton crossing the lone back. And Christian to throw, dumps it off to Max Walker, will score easily from 5 yards out, 32-0 Banks.
Yeah, that was just a great read that time. Max coming over to his left there, found the crease, and Christian right there saw him and just got it right to him. Wide open again. Max Walker, that's like third or fourth time Max has been wide open. They don't pick him up, and he just walked right in the end zone. I mean, literally.
Little dump pass off the far side.
If I'm the Sisters coaching staff, you go in the locker room, I'm going to be asking my guys, why don't you pick up number 3?
Kick is up, and it is good this time inside the right upright. 33-0, 3:14 to go in the first half. Banks scoring quickly and often in this first half. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from the Banks Post newspaper.
Banks Post newspaper is the official news provider of West Side's greatest hits. Listen hourly for West Side news from the Banks Post newsroom. Banks Post newspaper covers Banks, Manning, Buxton, Roy, and surrounding western Washington County communities. If you'd like more information on the Banks Post or want to pick up a copy, visit a local business today. You can also visit their website at bankspost.com or their Facebook page, Banks Post.
And we're back 33-0 Banks, 3:14 to go in the first half. One more score for a 35-point rule to be put into effect in the second half. Return team for Sisters now lined up a little bit closer together with Maddox Brown standing his own 4-yard line. I think Sisters, as that last scoring play occurred, looked a little dejected. Cole Crossan's kick very clean to deep, and again botched, and finally able to fall on it about the 22. Kick to the far side, picked up by number 8, Cale Mock, 6 foot, 151-pound defensive back.
And that could have been another weather-related issue there, but one thing, it's important to consider, anytime you have a game like this where it's raining constantly, it's not necessarily the wet, slippery ball. It's like when your hands get wet, and they're kind of cool out there, the wind blowing, it kind of makes your hands kind of numb, and so you don't really have any grip on the football. And I think in that case right there, it was a case of there's no grip, and it just bounced off your numb fingers.
Fumble again on the play, and I think Sellers was able to fall on it inside the 20. And going back to your point you just made a moment ago, especially on hard passes, it's easy to get jammed fingers in cold weather.
If you've ever had that and you feel the football on your hands, that does not feel good.
Back to the 18, second down and 12. Need to get to about the 31, so second down and 12 from the 19, and give to number 8 again for Sisters, Kale Mock. Nothing there. It'll be third down and long. Okay. Final 2 minutes of the first half, 2-minute warning as it's known in college and NFL, but clock will not stop for the 2-minute warning at the high school level. And Moore is going to go down back inside the 10. It's going to be fourth down again for Sisters, and Braves may be coming after this one.
Yeah, that's a great pursuit that time by
Davon Vereen on the pursuit that time, again getting in the backfield.
Fourth and long from the Outlaws 8. First down marker at the 31.
Sisters going to punt from their own end zone here.
Maddox Castle about 5 yards deep. Does get the kick away high, not very deep. It's going to bounce at about the 22 and go all the way back inside the red zone. We talked about all the red zone opportunities tonight defensively, and now one coming on special teams. First and 10 with under 2 minutes left from the Sisters 18.
Yeah, and the Braves going to have the ball in the red zone with 59 seconds left. That's enough to put this ball into the end zone. And if you're a Braves fan, that's going to put you up over 35 points before halftime. And that means second half would be running clock. From 6A down is 35-point rule.
First and 10 from the 18. Lyda looks to throw, rolling right, pass thrown. Too slippery apparently for Jack Lyda as it slips out of his hands as he falls down along the near side.
Yeah, that was just too hot to handle. But only 4 seconds ticked off the clock for the Braves there, so.
Sisters, a pretty strong football program back in the late 90s, early 2000s in the Sky M League.
Yep, seen them many times covering Cottage Grove.
Lyda to pass. Logan Kine, 20, 15, slipped up at about the 13. It'll be third down and about 5. Looked like initially more there, like he could have easily got inside the 10, but just an ankle tackle by Sisters away from possibly even a score.
Yeah, not a favorable spot. It looked like he might have went down at like the 10 or 9 yard line, but
low snap. Christian able to go down and get it on a knee, rolling left, and is just going to be pushed down at the 10. It'll be a short gain. It'll be fourth down and likely, well, actually I thought we might see Cole Crossan, but I think at that point if you're attempting a field goal, it's just, isn't that kind of running up the score?
I mean, you're either going to go for 6 or you're going to kick 3, so, you know,
it's a lot harder to get 6, though, than it is 3.
3 points are less than 6, but, yeah, that going back to the last play, Christian was looking all the way, I think, looking for the corner route with Max Walker, and that time actually Sisters did finally, maybe they heard me, they finally had a man on Max in front of him, and so it's a good decision that time by Christian not to make the throw.
So I think we have a timeout. Banks wanting to stop the clock. 20 seconds left. Clock stops anyway with the out-of-bounds play.
And they might be talking about that, too. I mean, they're talking about to the team, but all the while, I think Cole might be contemplating field goal or touchdown. It looks like they're going to go for 6.
Looks like 4th and 3 from the 11. 20 seconds left.
Or, no, I think they are going to go for 3.
So Cole Crossan will come on the field to attempt a, looks like a 29-yarder.
And I think that's what that timeout was all about, was just, let's consider this. Either way, it's going to put him over 35.
Christian Light at a snap. Ball on the near hash mark. And movement. Banks just trying to draw him offsides to get the first down. Banks saying it's offsides. Sisters, they're pointing that direction.
Yeah, that's the line judge is saying it's against Sisters.
So Banks is going to get the first down on the offsides encroachment from the Outlaws, so no field goal needed. Banks will pick up the first down with no time off the clock. 20 seconds to go in the first half and a 33-0 lead.
You know, and I don't even know if they were really going to go for 3. Maybe it was just all a ploy to kind of draw them, which it worked.
Kind and Jack Lyda to the top with Wormington, the lone receiver, to the near side. And pass over the top. Touchdown, Max Walker easily dumped it over the top of the Sisters defense and about to put up 40 on the Outlaws in the first half.
Max Walker again wide open. That time as wide open as any of the all-night taco stands in the Washington County area.
Well, next year's starters, we may see them in the second half.
A little surprised we don't see the clock running here, but I think it does stop after scoring plays.
And it doesn't start, I don't think, until after halftime.
Well, no, it starts once you get up over 35.
16 seconds to go in the first half. Banks 40, Sisters nothing. We'll keep it here. We will update the scoreboard. $40-0 Banks. It's been the Max Walker and Ashton Crossan show offensively for the Braves. Banks with 6 touchdowns in the first half. Those 2 players have accounted for all 6 of the Braves' touchdowns. Oh, I got one. Okay. .3A District 1 third place finisher Warrenton actually at Mountain West Conference champs Lapine tomorrow, a 1 o'clock kick. And speaking of kicking, Cole Crossan's kick is going to be taken at about the 10 by number 8 Cale Mock, and he'll get up to about the 15, maybe the 16, and
that's
Sisters.
Take us to halftime.
Yeah. Sisters, I'm sure, will just take a knee with 8 seconds left.
They're not going to have time to do anything because, well, the clock stopped, but it actually should be running. So I guess they will go ahead and run or take a knee.
Good job, soccer dudes!
First and 10, Sisters from their own 16. Moore under center. They are going to run a play. And he'll actually lose about half a yard. And that will end the first half as I believe number 24, Maddox Castle, no gain, will take us to halftime. Banks 40, Sisters nothing. Second running clock, second half coming up as Banks well on their way to a second round matchup against either St. Mary's or Santiam Christian. We'll take a 2-minute break. and be back after this from On Point Credit Union.
What's stopping you from going to school and learning new things? Or buying an old car to make it new again? Do you dream about building a business, exploring new places, or even buying your very first home? Whatever you're trying to do, On Point Community Credit Union can help you do it. With low-interest loans, credit cards, business banking, and more. On Point. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
Visit Main Street Pizza in Banks, located next to Jim's Market, for the best pizza in Washington County. From loaded hot baked subs to a Main Street special pizza piled high, we will satisfy your pizza cravings. We've been serving and supporting the Banks community since 1986. Open daily at 11 a.m. Call ahead now to place your order at 503-324-5858 or follow us on Facebook to see our daily lunch specials. Mention this radio ad and receive $2 off any Main Street pizza.
Scoggins Creek Coffee is proud to offer delicious hot drinks and delectable breakfast items too. Visit their 2 locations in Gaston and Yamhill Carlton. Open 7 days a week, Mondays through Saturdays until 5 and Sundays until 3. Make sure to ask about their weekly specials and visit their Facebook page. Scoggins Creek Coffee, 503-985-3483.
And we're back halftime. Banks cruising to a second-round matchup against either St. Mary's or Santiam Christian. A 40-0 lead at halftime, 13-0 after one, adding 4 touchdowns in the second quarter. About the only thing, well, not the only thing going wrong for the Braves. They've had problems holding on to the football too, as any team would with these downpour conditions, but just way overmatched. And we kind of both, I think, realized that looking at the rosters earlier, with Sisters not having only 4 players over 200 pounds and barely over 200 pounds at that. You have several players over 200 pounds for Banks along the line, with Van Domlin listed at 305. Just look way overmatched on the line. And I know our league has been, 3A District 1 has kind of been down this year with, you look at the way Banks has kind of ran over everybody, but maybe the league isn't down as much as we thought, with Banks still having that same kind of performance here in the first half tonight, Jonathan, as they did all the way through league play.
Well, you're talking about a team who's made, how many runs to the playoffs in the 4A classification, at least the last 5-6 years. Won a state championship just a couple of years ago in 2018, 2019. Part of that big trifecta with the boys basketball team and the baseball team winning it the same year. So, this is a team, it's not unexpected. It's not really a surprise that Banks is coming out here and dominating. I really only expect Banks to have a tough outing and maybe in the semifinals when they could play either Dayton or Kennedy. And wow, what a travesty that would be to have Banks playing Kennedy in the semifinals, 2 teams that really could be playing for the 4A state title. But there's some good football teams, and Banks is going to have some tough competition. We just talked about 2 of them, Kennedy and Dayton, who are on their side of the bracket. The other side of the bracket, if Banks is to get fortunate and get to the state championship game, they could play either South Umpqua or Cascade Christian, Cascade Christian, a very good football team and program in this 3A ranks of the OSAA. So there's some good football out there. It's certainly not every game is gonna be 40-0 at halftime. And let's give some credit to Sisters too. They might be down this year, but this is a program that historically, you talked about it a little bit, Trevor. They've had some success both at the 3A level and at the 4A level. But tonight they're just, Sisters is kind of a team who they flip-flop back and forth between 3A and 4A. So I'm sure Sisters, they know what it's like for Banks. They can, they basically totally understand what it's like, dropping down into a league. And, that usually that first year that you drop down, you're usually pretty successful. I mean, actually, I can tell you my senior year of high school, going back a ways, in Cottage Grove, when we were a 5A school, back then there was no 6A classifications. 5A was the top, and we dropped to 4A. We had a good team. We were going to be a good team in the 5A level, and we ended up going down. In 1991, 25-0 in boys basketball and won the state championship. So, I mean, Banks is kind of running that same course here on the football field. Can they do that? Well, the Kennedy Trojans may have something to say about that. And, of course, the Dayton Pirates, don't overlook them. I mean, Dayton might even beat Kennedy. So
I know a lot of 3A coaches around the state were pretty upset when they heard Banks was dropping from 4A to 3A. Darwin Terry, head boys basketball coach and assistant coach at Pleasant Hill, was really worried before the start of the season when I told him Banks was going to be headed to Pleasant Hill in week 4. Familiar with him from fellow graduate from Yoncalla. My dad taught him back in the mid to late 80s, but Pleasant Hill also expecting Banks to compete for the state championship for basketball this year with Cascade Christian, also Westside Christian, I believe the defending state 3A champs for basketball. Basketball right around the corner, just a couple of weeks away. First weekend in December, Banks will host the Dowls and actually has Westside Christian at home on their schedule early in, I think, game number 2. So early on, we'll get a good look at how good Banks is going to be this season. Losing Goebel, first name escapes me at the moment. Cooper headed to Southwest Oregon to play basketball.
The Lakers.
Really thought that if he was going to play at the college level, it would have been football. I think he's honestly a little bit better football player than he is a basketball player, but older brother Blake on the top 20 watch list for tight ends at the FCS level at Eastern Washington. So obviously some NFL talent possibly for Blake Goebel, a Braves graduate, part of that incredible 2018-19 run with 3 state championships. That was his senior year, but basketball does have a lot coming back, especially with Mayo, one of the great guards. Kind of my catchphrase for him, if he gets hot, a hot Mayo can make you sick. If you're a defense and he can stroke it from beyond the arc, and teams have got to watch out for that tonight if you're an opposing team taking on Banks Braves for boys basketball. And then girls basketball also made a playoff run last year, losing to a hot Corbett team that made it all the way to the state quarterfinals, finishing, I think, 3rd or 4th at Marshfield North Bend last year. And Corbett and Banks are going to be in the same league this year for 3A girls basketball. Yamhill Carlton's been good for girls basketball over the last few years. So Coastal Range, Valley Catholic won't be in our league for basketball this year, but Coastal Range League will be one of the toughest in 3A basketball, at least for girls basketball. Boys basketball, again, just like football, I think it's going to be tough for anybody to even compete with Banks for boys basketball this year in the 3A Coastal Range League for boys basketball. So we'll go ahead and take another 2-minute break. Just under 6 minutes to go before the start of the third quarter. They'll add 3 more minutes as the teams come out of the locker room. We'll be back in 2 minutes after this from Pacific Office Automation.
For over 45 years, Pacific Office Automation has been solving problems for business owners. However, the needs of our customers and potential customers have changed dramatically over the years, so we've changed too. If you run a business and want to find out how Pacific Office Automation can help improve your business processes and costs, call us today to request a free workflow audit. Whether it's managed print services, IT services, or data security, we're here to help. PacificOffice.com. Problem solved.
Do you or someone you know own a business? As a local business ourselves, we know how important daily operations are, which is why we offer small dollar business loans for equipment, building upgrades, machinery, and more. The credit union even provides employee benefits for business members. Learn more at wanafcu.org or ask to speak with a commercial team member today. Again, to learn more, visit wanafcu.org.
Specialty Screen Printing in Yamhill offers your business the creativity and expertise to print your logo on a variety of items. Owners Ken and Linda Johnson have 40 years of experience on industrial parts and every type of material, including ceramic tile. Their fast service can have your project done in less than a week. Visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com, to see for yourself how they can help you boost your company's marketing and industrial screen printing needs. Call 971-998-9274 or visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com.
There's a new premier fiber internet provider in Vernonia featuring friendly and helpful customer service. Sign up with Gorge Networks today for symmetrical speed fiber internet, 300 meg or 1 gig speeds with managed Wi-Fi included in the low monthly price. No contracts or price increases. Refer a friend and get a free month of service. Make the switch to Gorge Networks today. Call 541-436-0223. You can also email us at sales@gorge.net.
And we're back halftime. Banks with a 40-0 commanding lead over the Sisters Outlaws. As we get ready to start the third quarter, Sisters has come out of the locker room. Banks has not yet made their way back onto the field, as they will likely add 3 more minutes to the clock once the Braves do so. Sisters will have the football to start the second half, but that's about the only positive we can say for Sisters. They've had some issues holding on to the football a little bit more than Banks, and had some turnovers deep inside their own red zone, and Banks has been able to capitalize easily. Banks has definitely owned the field position advantage also tonight with 2 or 3 turnovers inside the Sisters' 10-yard line due to a wet football, and able to capitalize with Ashton Crossan and Max Walker. I'm Trevor Beard. This is the 2022 OSAA On Point 3A Football Championships first round. Jonathan Lee joining me tonight. He'll be handling girls basketball broadcast duties when available this season. We mentioned girls basketball for Banks. Another name familiar to Banks that was let go at the end of last season has found a new home. Jonathan, I know you know about this as well. As Brandon Bagley, congratulations to him. He has been recently named new girls basketball coach at Gaston, so expecting some great things for Gaston Greyhounds girls basketball in the coming seasons. I know it'll take some time for that program to get rebuilt have had quite a number of down years. I think only 3 wins or something last season. But Brandon, one of the winningest girls basketball coaches at any level the last 15 years or so in the state of Oregon, and that includes teams like Southridge and Oregon City. Brandon Begley, one of the best in the state for girls basketball.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not. We'll just say this: it's not a good decision for any school to let Brandon Begley get out of your school. Not at all. It shows dysfunction. That's all I can say.
Banks has made its way back onto the field. They do add 3 more minutes to the clock to allow both teams equal amount of time to warm up after returning from the locker room. Sisters is just doing what they can to stay warm on the far side. It's not really a cold night for them. Back home, it's about probably 30 degrees cooler. It's very wet, but also very warm tonight. Highs earlier this afternoon around 60 degrees, but next week is going to be a different story. Snow level possibly down to around 300 feet by the middle of next week, and we could see snow on the valley floor in the mornings Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Well, here's an interesting score. Only score given right now in the 6A ranks. Jefferson of Portland leads McMinnville in the first quarter 29-4.
So 2 safeties.
It's probably 2 punts that went over your head out of the end zone.
With a wet football, wet everywhere around the metro area tonight, so Jefferson Inner City Portland School, part of the PIL.
Some other scores from around the state, of course, this being the OSAA state playoffs, the first round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union first round state playoffs. On Point, of course, celebrating 90 years. 90,000 members, yeah. Adrian leading Duper 50-0 in the second quarter. LeGrand leads Cascade at 29-12 in the second quarter. That is a 4A football score. Oakland leading Klatskanai 8-0. Klatskanai, the lone West Side school in the 2A playoffs, right, Trevor?
Yeah.
And that is 8-0 Oakland in the first quarter. We told you about the Jefferson and McMinnville score. That's, of course, Jefferson of Portland, not the one of Salem. And Trevor, it looks like that's the only scores at this point other than our score.
Yeah, I believe the league champion from what used to be called the Northwest League, that league with Vernonia and Klatskanai, I think actually was Nestucca this season. They have a playoff game this weekend, I know, too, but they're a little bit out of our listening area as we cover Washington, Columbia, and Yamhill County. We mentioned earlier Yamhill Carlton at South Umpqua tonight. Yamhill Carlton, technically the 13th ranked team at the end of the season, but OSAA tries to avoid having teams from the same league play each other in the first round, so Yamhill Carlton and Sisters switch spots, and Sisters the 13 seed and Yamhill Carlton the 14 seed is at South Umpqua of Myrtle Creek tonight.
Another team not too far from here, Scappoose Indians, the 8th seed in the 4A state playoffs. They are hosting the 9 seed and defending champions from Marshfield. That game's at Scappoose High School on the brand new turf. And you got to be thinking Coach McNabb and his team got to be thinking glad to have that turf over there at Scappoose High School this season.
Yeah, and I did a game there prior to when they put the new turf in, and it's a lot nicer to have turf compared to not having turf, as Maddox Brown starts the third quarter with a run up to about the 25 on the return. Looks like Davon Vereen, number 58. It's not Davon Vereen. 53 is Davon Vereen. That's Justin Webb, one of the 4 captains that came out tonight for Banks, making the stop on the return. First and 10 Sisters from their own 25. Banks with a 40-0 lead early in the third quarter.
And by OSAA rule, of course, will be a running clock. Any game over 35 points.
Moore will turn and give to number 8 for a loss on the play. That's Kale Mock. Loss of about 2 back to the 23, second down and 12.
Parker Littlejohn checking into the game for the Braves. Good to see him back on the court. Of course, he's been on the field all season. Great story.
Sisters still with their starters in the game. And back to pass over the head of the intended receiver, number 22, Ben Cooper. And he had some green space behind him, but pass well overthrown. And again, we talked about how hard it is to throw a deep ball in these wet conditions, and that went over his head.
Yeah, that was just so unfortunate for the Sisters Outlaws right there. You had 2 men beat that time, did Cooper, and it looked like that could have been pretty close to 6 and something to cheer about for Sisters here to start the second half, but just sailed on them.
Third down and long, nearing the 10-minute mark of the third quarter. And turn and give up the middle to big number 45. Tony Gonzalez had a big run. I'm not sure if you were here yet at that point on a beautiful fake that got pretty good first down yardage, gain of about 20 or 30 yards on Sisters' first play of the game, and nothing doing since for Sisters. But that was back when they were running that wishbone-style offense you mentioned too. And Maddox Castle with the punt. And it's going to be down at the 18 as new return man in for Banks, number 15, I believe is Parker Littlejohn. Or no, it's Lane Gilbert, who likely will come in at quarterback now as the second unit will likely finish this one out with a 6-touchdown lead.
And that was a good decision. As he was chasing the ball, it was a low line drive punt and landed on the field, and Gilbert was chasing the ball, but it's a good job listening to his coaching staff and his teammates to get away from the ball, just let him down it and take over. There's no reason. You're up 40-0, no reason to try to pick it up and do something with it.
First and 10 from their own 18. Gilbert does come in at quarterback, but Jack Lyda will stay in with the reserves. It's going to be Harris, the fullback, and big hole up the middle, 30, 35, 40, 45. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. Touchdown, Caden Harris, all the way to the house from 82 yards out, and Banks has added to the total again.
And, at this point, that some may look at this and go like, oh, wow, you run it up and you run it right through, and, you score again. Well, it's the second unit, and, you can't tell them to stop playing. They got to play. It's their chance to play on Friday nights under the lights in a playoff atmosphere, and great steps for the future here.
And it's the second unit against the sister starters still in the game. Last week, North Marion had their starters in the whole game, and it was pretty much a low-scoring second half. Each team scored 6. North Marion did make it in the end zone in the second half, and then 2 Cole Cross and field goals, all the scoring in the 51-6 win at North Marion. Cole Crossan to attempt the extra point. Whistles, and do we have a timeout? I don't see any flags. Are they not?
That's kind of a mystery there. It's like the officials are all, like, we heard them blow the whistles, but they all just froze. They all stood right there and, like, we're just looking intently inside. It's like, okay, what did you blow the whistles for?
So again, they'll attempt the extra point, and this time it is good. 47-0 Banks early in the third quarter. 7 minutes to go on a running clock. Caden Harris from 82 yards out for pay dirt, his first score of the game. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Econofab Pole Buildings.
Hey Brave fans, this is Chris Lyda, the voice of the Braves, here to tell you about Econofab Buildings. Econofab is a third-generation family-owned and operated pole building company located right here in Brave Country. Econofab has been in business for almost 50 years, constructing shops, garages, and barns. I had them build my 2 shops, and as a satisfied and repeat customer, I'm here to tell you that Econofab puts the fab in fabulous. Go visit them online at econofabbuildings.com.
And 7 minutes to go in the third quarter as we get the scoreboard updated. It is now 47-0 Banks in the first round of the OSAA On Point 2022 3A football championships, leading the Sisters Outlaws. First and 10 Sisters from their own 27-28 yard line following the return. And Sisters, I know, not as deep a roster as Banks. You look across the sideline and see maybe 10 players on the Outlaws bench. We've talked a lot of this season about forfeits, especially with Corbett. And hopefully that will not become a thing in the coming years as Castle Brown gets a good run on first down, close to a first down. It'll be about 2 yards short up past the 35. Second down and about 2.5.
Cesar Dominguez checking into the game for the Braves.
Ball at the 37. And again, the give to Castle Brown has a first down off the far side up to the 43, 44 yard line.
And that's exactly who made the tackle. Dominguez on the stop.
Again, an early start as we'll head down tomorrow to help with the 3A and 4A state volleyball quarterfinals with Sportscasting Unlimited. But we will try to stay up long enough to get you scores updated from all games around the state tonight. Number 44, the ball carrier, is going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. First carry tonight for Ethan Eby. No gain, second down and 10 from the Outlaws 44.
Just got a little sense of deja vu looking at 73 for Sisters. He's one of their offensive guards, and he wears number 73. Reminds me of Louis Lastic from the movie Remember the Titans, 73.
And short gain up past the 45 for number 45. Again, that's Gonzalez.
Kind of has that same stature.
It'll be a gain of about 3 to the actually going to mark it to the 47. A gain of about 4, third down and 6. Moore, toss sweep to the far side with Eby, and he'll probably should have lost yardage, but he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth down, and with the ball near midfield, down 6 touchdowns, I wouldn't be surprised to see Sisters go.
Jackson Van Domlin made the stop for the Braves.
Ball at the 48. Does pick up about a yard.
Braves back in a 43 defense.
So Sisters back to that wishbone look, and the toss sweep to Castle Brown. No gain on fourth and about 5, and Braves will take over first and 10 in Sisters territory.
Braden Exline right there to make the stop for Banks.
On Point Community Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the OSAA State Championship. On Point is Oregon's largest locally headquartered credit union, serving more than 495,000 members. Visit onpointcu.com. On Point is federally insured by the National Credit Union Association, Equal Housing Opportunity. Gilbert with another new back to his right is number 24, Henry White, and a bad snap. And he's going to get away, 35-40, and, if he's able to go, he gets, should have been about a 30-yard loss and gets a gain of about 8 on the play, and for a moment looked like he may have outran everybody.
And he ran about 50 yards on the play to gain about 4 yards, 5 yards. He ran backwards to the near side of the field to get the ball, then ran across the field, then ran back up the field, and finally got, just a great play by Lane Gilbert to realistically make something out of nothing.
2nd down and 5 from the Sisters 44. High snap, able to bring it down cleanly though. The give to number 24 slips and falls at the line of scrimmage. That's again Henry White.
Turf monster.
And we have an injured player for Sisters, number 22.
Yeah, that's not good news.
That's,
looking, like you said, looking over the roster, they don't have a lot of players.
And that's Ben Cooper, who nearly had a touchdown grab on one of the first plays in the second half, and that does not look good. Taking a look at his left ankle, looks like it's twisted sideways. And he'll be helped off the field.
Walking gingerly.
They've actually taken his left shoe off and is trying to limp off the field barefoot. In fact, he's not going to put any weight on his left ankle. Definitely hope that young man is okay. Not sure if he plays basketball, but although his football season may be most likely done for the year, regardless of which side of the ball you're on, you hate to see anybody with any type of injury.
Yeah, whether it's minor or significant.
Sisters players all taking a knee. Purchase your official state championships merchandise at osaastore.com with Rush Team Apparel, the exclusive merchandise partner of the OSAA. You have more options. Customize your gear with your school name, a student-athlete name, event decals, and more. Nike products are also available. Browse the selection of official state championships merchandise at osaastore.com. Sisters is back ready to go on offense after Ben Cooper comes off the field with what looks like a significant left ankle injury. And actually Banks with the football after the 4th down stop, and Gilbert spins close to a first down up to, I think it will be a first down to the 38. Actually, it was Banks on offense that whole time. We kind of lost track of time with the injury to Cooper, and I think that's the end of the 3rd quarter. So just one touchdown by Banks coming early in the 3rd quarter. The 82-yard touchdown run from backup running back Caden Harris after 3. Banks 47, Sisters nothing. Back after this from Toyota.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
In Likeness of You offers caricatures, face painting, temporary tattoos, indoor and outdoor games, arcade games, and even costume hero birthday events. Since 2013, they've even held corporate events for some of the biggest companies in the world. For more information or to book your next party, go to inlikenessofyou.com, thebash.com, or call 503-858-0164. That's 503-858-0164.
Henry White with a short gain of about 3 as we start the fourth quarter. Banks a 47-0 lead. Second down and 7 from actually the 36. High snap as
jump ball.
Gilbert runs into number 28, Cesar Dominguez.
Yeah, that looked like a snap for we were talking about basketball season. That looked like the throw up for basketball season. It was kind of tipped to Cesar Dominguez.
So it'll be a loss of 4 back to the 40. Third down and 12.
Casualty of the steady rain, which is getting harder and a little more sideways
now. And again, bad snap. Gilbert able to keep it though. And 40, 35, 30. Makes a man miss down the near side. Finally gets out of bounds. Up close to the 20, and it's going to be first down Banks.
Second time this quarter or this half that Lane Gilbert has done a great job of, it's a lost play. It's going to be lost yardage, but no, he turns it into a huge gain down the field. And this time it's a first down and knocking on the door of the red zone.
And he may need to put some size on for next year, but definitely looks like a strong running quarterback for next season as something came flying onto the field around the 12, 13-yard line. Not a flag. Gilbert, the give, I think, to Henry White. Lost the football, and Sisters is going to have it at the 35. So the first turnover for Banks and a couple of Sisters players down. Slow to get up, number 51. Eventually will get up under his own power is Hudson Simons.
Yeah, that was a good takeaway that time by Sisters, as that was knocked. That ball was being carried kind of out here very loosely. It was looked like it was knocked out by one of the Sisters defenders, and they got on the football. Great play that time for Sisters.
So Caden Harris, a junior, likely the starting running back next season. Davon Vereen, starting running back at the beginning of the season, had issues in the Astoria game.
This game may be over before 8 o'clock. 8:13 to go, and it's about 15 minutes till 8.
First and 10 Sisters from the Banks 36 following the turnover. More to throw is underthrown, intended for Maddox Castle. About the line of scrimmage, incomplete.
Yeah, that was thrown out at Castle's feet, and he's kind of a taller guy there, and so he just, didn't really bend down to go down and pick it. He didn't make a shoestring catch. And when you're down 47-0 in a driving rainstorm in a fourth quarter, you're probably not going to have the same energy to go down and catch that as you would in the first or second quarter.
Kind of looks like a Maddox Castle kind of has the build of a tight end, but lines up as a one of 3 running backs. And we're going to have a touchdown. Tony Gonzalez from 64 yards out from the Sisters 36. The Outlaws are on the board.
Wipe off the shutout.
With 7:10 to go in the game.
And that's kind of a, catch-22. It's good to see for Sisters to make something off that turnover. That's points off turnovers now, and actually that would be the first. Sisters now actually has an up on Banks as they become the first team to get points off turnovers tonight.
Well, haven't a couple of their turnovers, though, been inside the 5 that they've scored on?
But then Banks didn't score right away off of it.
Oh, okay. That was the first play after the turnover. See what you're saying now. And they're going to go for 2, and Maddox Castle will get in behind a couple of blockers for the 2-point conversion. So with 6:16 to go, it's now Banks 47, Sisters 8. (47-8) Banks, 6 minutes to go as the clock stops for some reason in the fourth quarter.
Scoring play.
Oh, okay.
Scoring play and timeouts is the only time that the clock stops in the running clock.
So Banks with a 40-0 lead at halftime have now been outscored in the second half 8-7, but again, it's against the Braves' second unit.
And, of course, going back to that conversion, you were saying going for 2, and that's not really a surprise at this level, the 3A and beyond. Not too many teams have someone who can kick. Number one, the rosters aren't very big to begin with, and so they don't really have a good kicker at that situation. Banks, they have, soccer teams, so they have a good kicker.
And a lot of teams we've seen this year haven't even had a kicker on the roster. And Gilbert has some problems picking up the ball cleanly and gets up to about the 20, 1st and 10 Banks with 5:35 to go and a running clock, up 47-8. Braves will advance to take on either Santiam Christian or St. Mary's next weekend.
And I don't fault that on Gilbert at all. Having trouble. That's the kickoff was intentionally squib kicked along the wet turf, and so you're going to have a wet ball. There's a reason they have towels to try and keep the ball dry, bringing it in at every play. And when you're kicking it across the field, the ball's going to be so wet, it's going to be tough to pick up. Tough to pick up anyways off of a squib kick, but when you got a wet ball.
First and 10 for Gilbert and the Braves' second unit offense, might possibly be the final drive of the game. The give to Harris looked like nearly a horse collar, but he'll go down at about the 13. Actually, it's going to be Cesar Dominguez. Looked like number 30, but the scrunched up jersey says 28.
No, that wasn't. It wasn't close to the horse collar. He got him. He just bounced off. He tried to.
Okay.
I think the jersey's wet, and he tried to wrap him up. He just couldn't wrap him up.
Looked like he grabbed him behind the neck between the shoulder blades.
He grabbed him right on his chest.
So second down and long for the Braves, back from their own 15. Original line of scrimmage, the 19. Second down and 14, and Dominguez gets a little bit of that back, maybe close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and actually 11. I thought he got back to the 19, the original line of scrimmage. Not a loss of 1 or 2. The loss was back to the 14 or the 15, the play previous. It's actually a gain of 3. Third down and 11 from the 18. Gilbert is going to take the snap and keep off the far side. 20, 24, and slides down out of bounds. It'll be 4th down with 3 minutes left, and Sisters will have one more opportunity to make this score a little bit more respectable. And as we start to wind this one down, we like to do Oregon National Guard Hero of the Game. Really, 2 players come to mind, either Max Walker or Ashton Crossan. And it's going to be Gilbert handling the punt. And I think that's the first time we've seen him kick tonight.
And that's a live ball. That's a bang. I believe that's a live ball. Nope, the official's going to say it goes to, it is a live ball, but I think Banks was thinking that it hit off of a Sisters player before when they got on the football, but the official said no, but it's a Sisters ball.
So Parker Littlejohn will fall on it at the Braves 44. Decent job of kicking when you consider the wet conditions, and I believe that's the first punt of the season for Lane Gilbert. It may have been just a rugby style, kind of decided at the last minute to punt it away and not bringing Cole Crossan on the field. Moore still staying in at quarterback. Toss sweep, and the ball carrier, number 80, is going to be thrown down well behind the line of scrimmage. That's Reese Moore.
Trevor, just noticed down on the Banks sidelines, they have an umbrella down there. You see that umbrella with the red T? It looks like it's Tualatin. Shout out to the Timberwolves, who were leading Grants Pass at last check 14-0 tonight at Tualatin, by the way.
2nd down and 12. Apparently Moore able to get to the 45. Looked like he was a couple yards behind that. Another Moore looks to throw, and it's Easton Moore trying to hook up with Patrick Silva on a deep route down around the 25-yard line. It's going to go through his hands.
Lane Gilbert in on the coverage.
And that may do it. I don't think we're going to have time for one more play. Sisters will come to the line.
Going to hurry. If they're going to do it, they're going to have to hurry, but they're taking their time. But I think they're going to get one play.
15 seconds more with the 3-back set, and it's going to give to Gonzalez the only score for the Outlaws, and fitting for them that's how they end their night on a play that they hand off to their only scoring player tonight, Tony Gonzalez. Final score, Banks 47, Sisters 8. We'll take our final break and get you our Oregon National Guard Hero of the Game when we come back. Final score, number 4 Banks 47, number 13 Sisters 8. Back after this 30-second break from Oregon Army National Guard.
The Army National Guard plays a vital role in your community. We're on the front lines supporting essential personnel, first responders, law enforcement, and medical professionals, delivering food, supplies, and medicine, keeping communities safe, making a difference. During emergencies, we're always ready, always there. Learn more about part-time service in the Army National Guard at nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Oregon Army National Guard, aired by the Oregon Association of Broadcasters and this station.
What's stopping you from going to school and learning new things? Or buying an old car to make it new again? Do you dream about building a business, exploring new places, or even buying your very first home? Whatever you're trying to do, On Point Community Credit Union can help you do it. With low-interest loans, credit cards, business banking, and more. On Point. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Now we're back. Final score, Banks 47, Sisters 8. Banks will advance to the second round of the 2022 OSAA On Point 3A Football Championships next weekend at a site somewhere in Washington County. Could be Beaverton High School. You mentioned earlier possibly Wilsonville High School. Banks, at least in my 12 years, I don't think has played a football game at Wilsonville. Beaverton, Hare Field, likely the two choices for a second-round matchup against either St. Mary's of Medford or Santiam Christian. Also, Banks has played playoff football at Pacific University in Forest Grove. Early in my time at Banks, had a playoff game there against Tinley about 7 or 8 years ago. So Jonathan and I think we've decided on our National Guard hero of the game, as Ashton Crossan did a lot of damage for Banks in the first half. Banks 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, 4 touchdowns in the second quarter, and it was pretty much over at that point, a 40-0 halftime lead. Caden Harris came off the bench with an 82-yard touchdown run early in the third quarter for the final scoring play for Banks, and then it was Tony Gonzalez with a touchdown run for Sister, something like 64 yards. That came, I think, in the fourth quarter of a 47-8 blowout win for Banks. Jonathan?
Just going to take a look at some of the other scores from around the state and try to get some from the 3A ranks as we can. But, yeah, well, here's one. The home team, that's one of the two home teams of Hare Field. Of course, one of them is the Glencoe Tide, but the Hillsboro Spartans, they went over the mountain, we mentioned, and they're in the second quarter right now. Bend Lava Bears, they are number 3 in the 5A ranks, leading Hillsboro 28-0. And I don't know what that 29-4 score. You saw it too. I showed you, but it's actually McMinnville 7, Jefferson 0 in the first quarter. Westview leading Century 7-0 in the second quarter. That game is just down. It's east of here. It's being played at Rock Creek tonight. West Lynn on top of Grant 14-0. That's in the 6A, obviously. Sherwood leading South Salem 7-0. Jesuit leading Tigard 9-0. Tigers fortunate to be in that game right now, but my money's on the Crew to run away with that one and hide. Tualatin, we mentioned the Timberwolves. They were on the umbrella on the Banks sidelines. They lead Grants Pass 21-0 in the first quarter. Scappoose leading Marshfield 14-0 in the first quarter. Coach McNabb's team, Marshfield might be the defending champions, but Scappoose is playing really well. Another team that dropped down. They were in the 5A, made the playoffs last year. They dropped down to 4A. So Scappoose leading Marshfield 14. Now it's 14-6 now, 14-6. So Marshfield just scored as we go. Let's see if we can get some other scores. Adrian, we knew that score. Adrian 50-0 over Dufur. That's 1A school right there. LeGrand leading Cascade 35-12 in the third quarter. That's a 4A score. Oakland now on top of Klatskanai 24-0. They say it's in the first quarter, but I think it was in the first quarter when we were at halftime, so it's got to be second quarter. Estacada on top of Junction City, 22-0 in the second quarter. Estacada, that's another place, Trevor, we've been at when it was a grass field. This year they have turf between the hedges at Estacada High School, so a lot better. That's another field that would have been just all torn up and sloppy on a night like tonight. But, thoughts on this game? Great to see this game played on turf. Wish this turf could be at Kelly Field and Banks, but, you and I know the reasons behind that. We don't need to go into that. But nice to see this on the turf field, particularly the newer turfs today. They play just like grass. I know years ago with the old AstroTurf, there was concerns about, going from grass to turf, there would be injuries, but they make them so synthetic now, and that it feels basically like grass out there, and it's all with the rubber compound. If you can get enough rubber in there, and I know it gets into budgeting, and it's tough for smaller schools to get that, but that's why there's so many schools around. It's kind of nice to have that relationship, like Banks with their athletic department has a great relationship, as we've seen over the years, with the Hillsboro School District, and just on behalf, I guess, of Banks, we want to make sure we thank the Hillsboro School District for letting Banks play this game here and sharing the wealth. Some schools, they don't have the budget or they don't have the politics in their communities to change from their grass fields. They want to hold on to certain traditions, but it's nice when other schools can come together and work like this and share off their turf field and be able to have that for a good playoff game. So you have a good level competition, because it's much more funner for the fans and the players to have an equal footing than to come on a grass field where it's going to get all torn up and muddy and just, not, I mean, we saw tonight there were some weather-related miscues with, the snaps and stuff. That's going to happen, but, could you imagine what it would look like on a grass field? I mean, even more, and that's just no fun for either side. But a heck of a game for the Banks Braves tonight. They definitely showed their dominance as it's to be expected. I mean, take nothing away from Sisters. It was great to see Sisters there in the end get into the end zone. Now, if you're a Banks Braves fan or a player, I mean, the pride sets in. You want the shutout. Shutout looks better in the morning on the paper or on the website, as the case is in here. But, for the Sisters Outlaws, it's good. That's a good feeling. It's a long bus ride home. I don't know if they're going to make the trip tonight or if they're staying in a hotel tonight. Probably staying, because it's probably snowing over the mountain passes. But it's certainly a great feeling to take with you to know, you scored a long touchdown run. You ended with the same guy, Tony Gonzalez, not the Kansas City Chief, Tony Gonzalez. I think he's now retired. I don't think he's
CBS.
playing. But, it's not the same guy. He didn't come out of retirement to go back to high school. But, it's a great feeling for that young man and to be able to score. And some great young men for the Banks Braves to play under the Friday night lights of a high school playoff game. So future's bright definitely for Banks, and onward and upward now.
Strong youth programs. Everybody says, how do you guys keep redoing it year after year, rebuilding with losing such a large number of seniors and still having so many great players the following year? It's been a strong youth program for several generations. I lived in Banks for 12 years, and even before my time there, basketball with the buddy program, football during senior night. They had probably over 100 kids introduced as part of Banks Youth Football. So Banks Youth Football does a great job at trying to keep almost like a feeder program like you would see at the minor league level.
Well, there's a lot of, there's another football program that's in the 6A ranks. I've done some coaching in the Sheldon program in Eugene, and a lot of people ask, why is Sheldon so good? Well, I can tell you, it's the Sheldon Youth Football Program and kid sports. They play in kid sports in Eugene, but Sheldon also now has their own youth football program. They actually, the head coaches, I don't know if they still do, but back when I was there, we were coached at 5th and 6th grade. They have the varsity head coaches. They meet. If you're a coach for the middle school teams in the Sheldon district, you meet with the coaches. You actually get their plays. They want you to run their plays. You are the Sheldon Irish, even though you're 5th and 6th grade, and it's a complete program down there, and they work it with the schools. And that's just how teams like Banks, like Sheldon, how they continue to be great year in and year out. Is because, like you said, it's the feeder programs.
Well, this, despite the 39-point win by Banks, believe it or not, one of their closest wins of the year, especially the second half of the season. 31-0 over Yamhill Carlton, 49-0 over Rainier, 56-0 over Valley Catholic, and then 51-6 at North Marion last weekend. So even though a 39-point blowout loss with a running clock in the second half and Banks bench playing after halftime, Sisters, considering what Banks has done to most teams this year, being a third-place finisher in their league, not too shabby.
I think the decisive games over Yamhill Carlton on the road is the one that really should get, people turning their heads and respecting this Banks program. And for them to be a 4 seed is just it's the whole BCS formula. So, I know why it is. It's because it's opponents' winning percentage. And so that's why, if you look at on one Friday night, you could be a 4th-place team, and then maybe on Saturday morning when more results come in, you all of a sudden slip to 5th. It's because there's somebody that you beat and they lost to somebody, and then somebody lost to another person, that's how that formula works.
And we saw through the first half of the season until the Corbett game, Banks was number one, and I asked Banks Athletic Director Ben Buchanan about that, and he said, well, it's because the strength of Banks' opponent that week when they dropped was a forfeit win over Corbett that hasn't been anybody all year, and the only team that has had to forfeit games in 3A District 1 this season. We definitely hope that they're able to add to that program next season with just a 20-team roster for 2022.
It's one of those towns just like Banks, maybe even smaller than Banks. I was going to say a town without a stoplight or one stoplight town, but I think Corbett might even be a little bit smaller than Banks.
So I think that will do it for us. Again, our final score, Banks 47, Sisters 8. This has been the 2022 OSAA On Point 3A Football Championships first round. For Jonathan Lee, I'm Trevor Beard. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay dry. Good night and God bless. We'll see you next Saturday against either Santiam Christian or St. Mary's.
Thank you for listening to this OSAA On Point Community Credit Union State Championship event. Serving more than 480,000 members, On Point Community Credit Union is the largest locally headquartered credit union and the proud title sponsor of OSAA State Championships. Your local Toyota dealers are proud to support the OSAA. Visit Toyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. The OSAA Radio Network is presented by Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
OSA or the On Point.
Do you want to do the as long as they continue, you want to continue doing the tandem broadcast?
Okay.
I mean, no. I was asking you if you want to.
Yeah.
Continue.
That's fine.
Because I think would be able to